if you can hear me okay, and also see the PowerPoint presentation. If you can give me a yes, that would be great. Okay, thank you. All right, looks like that's good. All right, it's just past 8 o'clock. We'll just give another couple of minutes and then we'll get started. Looking at the markets, obviously we are still in quite a volatile period. The VIX is at 22, so let's see how this week shapes up. But generally, definitely a time to be a little watchful. Okay, all right. So looks like we can get started, and let me also look at. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So everybody's all set. Very good. Let's get started. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the webinar on TraderMAX, and this is TraderMAX is a product from Option Tiger. Basically, I introduced because I got a lot of requests on how to manage your options positions in a live market and all the challenges that come along with that. So I created this mentoring program because I feel that this is probably the best way to learn how to trade in the markets for real. So we'll talk about this program. As we know, we are in a slightly volatile period. So obviously, all trades that we take, we have to keep that in mind and structure your trades based on the overall market context. But let's see how we can and just give me 1 second here. Having a little technical difficulty here with this slide. So let me see. Okay, there we go. I had the wrong screen. So just hopefully you can see all of this now and the slides. So here we go. So what I did is created TraderMAX because there's a real need in the options market for people to understand what's happening in the live market and how do we deal with live market situations. So that's really what TraderMAX is all about. My name is Swaminathan. If you've come to either Option Tiger or Udemy, you might have seen a lot of my material there. There's a lot of courses. I've been an options trader for about 9 years now. And I started out as on my own, and basically and back then in around 2006, there wasn't really a whole lot of options education out there in the market. And so around 2011, I decided to make my own products. And basically, it's a great set of options trading products for anybody that can start from a beginner level and go all the way to an advanced level. So when we look at options, when we look at the options market, and when we trade options, as we know, options are different from stocks. There's so many things that are very specific just to the options market and no other market. And there's really 3 components here, in my opinion, to have a very good level of success. So good level of success means what? I mean, your majority of your trades, you're making a profit. And even if you have losing trades, which anybody will, you want to try to adjust it. You want to try to come back to break even if you can, or if you want to, or even get a small profit out of it. Regardless, you need to know the options knowledge itself. And so this is sort of the courseware that I'm talking about, where you have all the different strategies, the Greeks, the time decay, spreads. How do we manage with that? And how do we do we have adequate knowledge of all these concepts? And so that's the first step, and that's what I call as a hard skill. Because a hard means hard as in compared to hard skills and soft skills. Hard skills are like math. Either you know it or you don't. And so, if you know it, it's a binary thing. So options knowledge is what I call as hard skills. Then what happens is most people, when they go into the market and actually trade their accounts, that's when you realize that there's a lot of decision making involved. There's a lot of judgments involved. There are various technical analysis tools and skills, but when do you apply which? So now you're talking about a combination of hard skills and a little bit of soft skills. And finally, there's the third component that not many people talk of, and that is your whole emotional game and your self-control and how you approach the market. Where do you have to put your own triggers? All these things become very critical. And, frankly, this is where most people fail. And, I would argue that these skills, the emotional skills and the self-control skills, and even the one in the middle, your general adjustment skills or judgment, calls. These things are, the soft skills are what really separate success and losing, winning and losing. So, and I gotten so many emails over the years that people tell me that, okay, I think I know options. I've gone through a lot of your courses. I agree and I understand everything that you're saying, but at the same time, I'm not able to produce the winners on a consistent basis. And this is a problem. And this is a problem. And this is really what drove me to create this 4-week mentoring program, because I find that so many traders, even though they have all the knowledge, they're not able to make the right kind of decisions and the right kind of triggers, and use the right kinds of analysis at what time. How do you put the overall market context? What kind of trades are good for this kind of a market? What should be your time frame? And finally, your emotional skills come in. So, if you have a plan, if you have a system, that you can put the system in, and then it becomes a question of when you will do certain things, not not what you're going to do. You're not thinking about what would be the strategy. It's just a question of when. So really, TraderMAX is a 4-week live mentoring program, and it's a live trading mentorship. So this is what I call where the rubber meets the road, because you're going to watch. It's a watch over my shoulder program. So basically what we are looking at is we'll be on a go-to webinar between 9:30 a.m. and 4 p.m. for 4 weeks, Monday through Friday. And all these sessions will be recorded, but you'll find that on most days, the markets are active between 9:30 and about 11:30 to 12. And then there's a lull period in the middle. So between, say, 11:30 or maybe 12 o'clock to 2 p.m., when even all the professional traders on Wall Street go off to lunch and all of that. And then they come back and things start becoming active around 2:30 again. So in this 4-week program, the whole goal is, how do we identify trades, and then what kind of trades is good. And obviously not all trades are going to go in your favor, and therefore you want to think of the adjustment techniques. How would you manage the trade, both for winning trades as well as losing trades? And so the theme of this whole 4-week program is how can we be consistent with options, and how can we be repeatable, so that we can continue to do this in any market condition over many weeks and many months and many years perhaps. And so that's really the goal of this 4-week live trading mentorship program. So what kind of trades are we going to take? Obviously, I think the simple ones are the long calls and the long puts. We'll do some debit trades. We'll do some credit trades. Some trades will start off as long options, but then will get adjusted into a spread. And perhaps the spread may get further adjusted into a 9 condor. We'll obviously look at some key strategies like diagonals. I feel diagonals are one of the most underrated strategies there is. And so, the trade design will be based on simplicity. But as the trade evolves, what we're going to see is a lot of sophisticated trade management techniques, adjustment techniques, and all of that. And so all of this is recorded live. You'll in fact be seeing my screens. I'll be talking live between the times that we are on the market. And like I said, most of the time it'll be between 9:30 to 12 noon, and then 2:30 to close, which is at 4 p.m. So generally, we want to be active in about 2 or 3 trades at any given time. It's a weekly trading cycle. So basically, we're not day trading, and we're not going long term either. So, if you want to put a trade, we want to put a weekly time frame. So over a period of 5 to 6 days, maybe 7 days at most, you want to be able to come out of the trade with a profit and move on to the next trade. So and because it's a 4-week program, we have to structure the trading cycle as a weekly trading cycle. So in any given week, we could probably have about 5 to 7 trades in 1 week. And so overall, over the 4 weeks, we are going to see about 25 to 30 overall trades. So I'm going to use a real money account, obviously, and around 40K, maybe 50K, maybe even 30K, because I want to keep it realistic in terms of what the average account size is, which is about 40K. So somewhere around there, we'll start with that. And of course, you're going to see over a period of 4 weeks, if we have 25 to 30 trades, a big percentage of that might go bad. So, we could have 5 to 10 to 12 trades that go against us. But how do we adjust it? Because the beauty of options is you can manage your trade. You can try to come out of a bad situation, make it better, make it come back to a break even, or maybe even a small profit. And sometimes you may not be able to do that. And so you take a loss and just move on to the next trade. So, but how do you manage all the different situations is what this 4-week program is all about. So, but meanwhile, now, if you have any questions, you can please, type it into the question box, and I'll take all the questions at the end. But, just so that you don't forget your question, you can go ahead and type it into the question box if you do have questions. Okay, so the focus will be on adjustments, and how do we control our emotions. Fear and greed is a big part of trading, and so you want to be able to control them. You don't want to make panic moves, because that's really what kills most trades and most traders. Something, boom, it just happens, and then the trader goes into a panic mode, and that's when losses occur. So you want to be able to control all of that. You want to be able to manage your risks. You want to be able to manage your trades, and hopefully you'll have a lot more profitable trades. And even if you have losing trades, that's okay. You want to maximize the winners and keep your losers losing to as less as you can, because that's really the goal of any trader. So the webinar format itself is going to run from about 9:20 a.m. We'll start in the pre-market. So we'll just take an analysis of what's going on in the overnight markets and the futures and all of that. And then it'll go till about 4 p.m. Now, granted, we're going to have a break during the slow period. Sometimes there is no slow period. Sometimes the markets are active all day, especially if there are some events going on around the world, or news events, or if something like that is happening, we could be live all day. And on other days, it's going to be slow, and we'll just have to see how each day goes. But all commentary and all adjustments will be live. It'll be recorded. And every Sunday evening during this 4 weeks, we are going to have an evening webinar that will focus, will analyze what's coming up in the week, and look at all the different trading opportunities there are, and how to and basically put out a plan for the week. Now, granted, once you get into Monday and Tuesday, the plan might change, but that's okay. We'll take a review of all the situations on Sunday evening. And as an options trader, I think everybody, if you can spend 1 hour in the evening once the futures open, just look at all the news, see what's going on in overseas markets. It's always a good habit to do that on a weekly basis. Okay, so the daily recording overall should be about 2 hours, because there's even when we are active between 9:30 and 12, there won't we won't have much to say during many periods. So basically, I'm going to try to keep the recording as short as I can, but still not miss out anything that we do. So daily recording should be on average about 2 hours. And what I recommend is, at least for the first week or two, if you can keep yourself free for this time, because it's really important to be live on this, and that's the whole point of this of this service, is that you want to be there live. Now granted, if you cannot be there for all 4 weeks, that's fine. Even if you can be there for one whole week, I think it'll make a lot of sense, and it'll make sense to take that week during the first week itself, so that you know what the process is. And then of course, you'll be catching up with the recordings for all the times that you were not able to be present. So the whole mentoring service will be a follow only, and what I mean by that is, I'm just going to show what I'm looking at. I'll look at all the different opportunities. We'll take the trades, and I'll be taking the trades. And ideally, all you're doing is going to be just following me. That's it. But I won't be able to support your trades in case you decide to take the same trade. So obviously, I do want everybody to understand that, because I won't have time to look at to help out with individuals trades. However, if you feel comfortable with the process and you want to follow along, that's perfectly fine with me. Just be aware that I won't be able to support during this time, because obviously, I'm looking at the markets, and I'm looking at what we need to be doing and all of that. And of course, I will be speaking my mind on exactly what I see. So we'll be looking at charts, we'll be looking at the markets, we'll be looking at certain indicators, technical analysis, volume analysis, very key, and the overall market context, and we'll be doing all of that. So you'll get a very deep insight into what I'm thinking and exactly what I'm seeing. And I think this is really the best way for an option trader to learn in a short period of time, relatively short period of time, because you have 4 weeks. And really, if you've done some of the background education that's required, this kind of a program is really what will take you into a new level. So it is the Ultimate Options program. We'll be bringing together all the stuff that we've seen so far. So basically, you want to look at all the options education that there is. I would although it's not required, if you already know all these trades and you've done a lot of them, it's not required. But I would recommend that along with the TraderMAX, you look at weekly max, condor max, and adjust max. And we'll get to how I've obviously made it a very attractive offer for you to get everything. But the goal of the program is, how do we structure our trades based on the overall market context at that particular point in time? How and when to adjust bad situations? How do we think about position sizing? How do we think about trade approaches and more? Much more. So it's a very live, over the shoulder kind of a situation. If there is any complex trade situation, multi-leg kind of a situation, you want to break it down into simple, into much more simpler positions, into much more simpler adjustments. And of course, like I said, key is the whole emotional aspect of trading, because at the end of the day, every trader has an internal battle with themselves, and you have to be able to control that. You have to be able to master that. If you cannot master this internal battle within yourself, then it's very difficult to be a consistent winner in the markets. And so by looking at over the shoulder, hopefully over the 4 weeks, you will get a much better sense of how do we approach various situations, how do we take advantage of various situations, how do we get out of bad situations, what are the adjustment techniques, what are the approaches, and the whole concept of self-control and the internal battle is something that will be deeply focused on. So let's give you a little bit about the program details now. So the TraderMAX program starts on Monday, October 5th, and it will run for 4 full weeks. It ends on Friday, October 30th. So we'll have 4 full weeks of Monday through Friday sessions. we'll have a kickoff webinar before the program starts on Sunday on October 4th, just like we are having here today, but it'll be on the GoTo webinar. That's a more professional setup. We'll have it on the GoTo webinar itself. And the subsequent Sunday webinars will be on October 11th, 18th, and the 25th. So the goal within this 4 weeks is to make about 10 to 20%. So if you start with 40K, you're looking at anywhere between 45 and 50K. Perhaps a profit of about $5,000 to $6,000. So that's the goal. So we'll see how it happens. It's live market action, taking expertise, so decision making, all of that stuff is what is going to be involved. And frankly, you will, over these 4 weeks, you learn literally years worth of learning. But from your side, you have to be prepared with the education, because this is real options trading. We are going to go, some trades may be simple, some trades will become complex. We are going all the way from long calls, long puts. We're going to go into spreads, both debit as well as credit. Then from there, we're going to go into condors, diagonals, and that kind of strategy. So it does cover the complete, the complete spectrum of all option strategies. So now, this 4-week program is the base cost is $19.99, and within that, I'm going to give you a choice of one max system. So as you can see, I recommend Condor Max, Adjust Max, and Weekly Max are the 3 products that I would recommend. You can pick one of them, and I know many of our customers, many of Option Tiger customers already maybe have 1 or 2, or maybe they have all 3. So anyway, the TraderMAX system will come with a max system. So it's your choice. You can you can pick one of those. If you ask my preference, which one would you pick? I would actually choose Adjust Max out of the 3, because I feel Adjust Max is just something that everybody needs to have, needs to know. Adjusting options is just it's such a critical component of options trading that I feel that everybody should master the art of adjustment. So if you were going to go for this the base level $19.99 and pick one product, I would recommend you pick Adjust Max. However, if you want to get all 3, then I have a really good deal, $24.99 for all 3. And that will come with everything. Obviously, over here it includes all the courseware, the recordings. You have access to it for life, all 4 webinars, Q&A, and everything there. So that's really the whichever one. It depends on you, and if you already have 1 or 2 products, then that's fine. But then and this is what I would and this is where you can go and pick the choose, make your choice and make the purchase right there. So here we are. Let me just type in that link over here so everybody has it. And I hope everybody got it there. Okay, wait. Let me put it in as the sticky so everybody has it there. Okay, so that's blog.optiontiger.com/TraderMAX mentoring. So let me go to that page and show you what that page looks like. So this is the page, and this is the one that the previous webinar that we did. You can find the full recording here as well. Now, it starts on October 5th, ends on October 30th. I don't know if you can see the screen. Let me make sure that you can see the screen here. Okay, it's saying you're sharing your screen, but basically, if you click on that link, this is what you'll see, and you have 2 choices here. You have the $19.99, and then you have the $24.99 as well. So you can check it out, and you can pick whichever one you want. If you pick all 3 products, then it's a really good deal, and you can just send me an email, or I'll get notified and we'll give you all the access to that. So that's really all I had. If you have any questions, you can send it to me at info@optiontiger.com. But now what I want to do is see if anybody has questions here, so that we can tackle all of these questions right here for any of you that may have that. So let me know. You can type it in. If you have a question, you can type it in, and then we'll take it from there. For some reason, I'm not able to. Couldn't. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. So now I can see some. There's been something. I'm not going to use this system anymore. There's some issues with this, and not able to figure it out. Okay, yeah. So PJ says, what kind of proprietary system is for AdjustMax? See, AdjustMax is an approach. So whether you're dealing with single options, whether you're dealing with spreads, credit spreads, debit spreads, condors, all the different things. How do you approach adjustments to all of these strategies? So AdjustMax is a complete product that purely tackles adjusting options positions. So once you get AdjustMax, what you're going to see is, we'll start off with single options and then go to more complex trades, and it's all recorded over a period of 3 to 4 weeks. There are live trades as part of the product, but you'll be seeing the recording, obviously. So the difference between those products and TraderMAX is that TraderMAX is live and real time, whereas those products, it was live at one point, but now you're going to see it as a recorded system. And so that's really the difference there. So now let me see here. There's some more questions coming in, but I'm not able to, for some reason, not able to clearly see some things here on the system. I'm not sure I like this system very much. We'll move over to GoToWebinar next time, I think. So anyway, couldn't view the screen at that time, right, Rajan? Yeah. So, but anyway, you can go to this link right here, and you'll be able to see you see what I'm talking about. Okay. And so if you're, yeah, right there, I've posted the link there. You can take a look at that. How do we play the markets in the Gene? How do we play the markets in the next few weeks? There has been a seesaw. Yeah, absolutely seesaw. And I'm watching the VIX, and so as long as it doesn't come below 20, we are it is telling you that there's going to be volatility. So if you take long trades, whether it's long calls or long puts, it has to be very short-lived, because directions are going to change, and you're going to see the markets go up and down. And so we are in a volatile time. We are in somewhat of a news-driven market, because China is driving the news factor right now, and it all depends how China, what the news is for coming out of China. And so that I see as the biggest issue here. And the issue is, let's face it, China has slowed down dramatically. Coming from 12, 13, 14% growth, it's now officially reporting it as 7%. But I think it's much, much lower than that. And not just me. There are many experts that feel that it's either flat or it's maybe 1 to 2% growth. That's about it. And so the numbers that are coming out of the Chinese government is nobody trusts them. And so, we're looking, and that kind of a dramatic slowdown in China is going to have ripple effects around the world. Not only is China now the second largest economy, but there are so many other developing countries that are dependent on the Chinese economy. And so all of that is going to play out. And I feel we could be in for a fairly extended volatile period. And so, you have to keep your trades, somewhat controlled. But the good thing is, if the VIX is above 20, option prices are going to be nice and juicy. So, how do we pick trades that can take advantage of that? And so I would actually try to focus more on those kinds of situations. Of course, we take directional, and of course we take, we'll take opportunistic trades that can give you a much higher return. But whenever the VIX is above 20, that option prices are going to be nice and juicy, because the VIX, of course, is a measure of the S&P itself. But even if you look at individual options, whether you're talking about Apple and Netflix and all of that, their volatilities would have increased a lot more than the overall market because they are volatile stocks to begin with. So there's a lot of opportunities are available during this time actually, and so we will be taking advantage of that. Now the other thing also that will come in October, not when we start on October 5th, but by the middle of October, by the second to third week of October, we're going to start the earnings season. So the last 10 days of October will be, a lot of these companies will be reporting earnings. So it's also another great time to be in the market and look at something like a TraderMAX program, because you also get the added advantage of how we deal with some of these stocks that are affected by earnings. Okay. I still use TOS, but in this case, I'll be using yeah, the interactive brokers, because for a small account, TOS is cumbersome. TOS is more like when you put out your nice 1 to 2 month kind of trades, and you want to put it on your risk graph and all of that. What I will do is, at the end of the day, I will reproduce whatever trades that we need to use the risk graphs for. I will reproduce it on TOS so that we can analyze it on, because obviously, there's no analysis tool that's as good as TOS. And so we want to use that as we can. But for for the actual execution, what I'm going to be using, because it's a smaller account, we'll use interactive brokers. The commissions are good. The execution is very good, most importantly. And so that's what we're looking at. There is one more. I think there's one more message, but unfortunately I cannot see it. All I can see is the last three words with different situations. Could you just type it in once more so that the whole message comes in the question box? Unfortunately, this platform is not a very not. I never had this problem. So we'll do it back on GoToWebinar next time. So anyway, so if you can just repeat the question, that would be great. All right, and let me see. I think I'm getting a call. Meanwhile, I'll just check for who it is. Okay, now I see your question. Will there be a number of systems to deal with different situations? Well, if you look at Condor Max, it basically is a very sophisticated way to approach credit spreads and iron condors. Okay, now weekly max and adjust max, weekly max just tells you how weekly options behave, and so that product is all about understanding the options market and understanding the how weekly options are structured. So those products is it's very intensive in terms of knowledge, but in terms of actual strategy, Condor Max is what we would. Will there be a number of? No. The systems don't have anything to do with TraderMAX. The systems, you don't have to react every time. No, we only react when a trade requires our attention. So of course, it's a weekly income strategy. So in general, there will be things that we would need to do to the trade as we go through it, because weekly is not a whole. It's not a very large time frame. So it's not like we can put the trade and just leave it there for a few days. No, that's not going to happen. It's going to be a little bit more active. So in fact, so you don't have to react anything. PJ, I'm saying the best way to follow this program is to focus on what I'm saying and what you're looking at, because it's important for you to understand the methodology of how we approach the market. I want you to learn that rather than try to copy my trades, and then you'll get bogged down with either adjusting it or doing something with it, and then your focus won't be on the learning. And so what I would really prefer is that you focus on the learning aspect of the of this program. But if you just look at what I'm doing and look at my screens, you're going to be in a very good shape to follow exactly what is going on in the market, what is going on with our trades, and all of that. So that's really how you should be approaching this. Now, if you already are comfortable at a point where you're comfortable, where you want to get in on one or two of these trades, or three, or how many trades, that's fine, go ahead. But please just bear in mind that I won't be able to support whatever you do. If you simply want to follow what I'm doing, that's okay. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. But I would even then I would say, because the whole point of the service is to just look at how I'm dealing with the markets and the trades and the adjustments and and most importantly, the mental approach, which is, I think, critical when we deal with the markets. And so you want to learn that. So at the very least, I would say the first week, don't do anything. Just listen to what I'm talking about and just look at my screens. And then if you want to do something on your own, that's fine. But I would still just focus on the learning aspect of the service. That would be my suggestion. Okay, so question is, do we need all three? Well, I would say that like I said, Adjust Max, I think, is really a great one. Weekly options have become so popular over the last many number of years. So I would say that weekly options is something that every options trader should really master. Even if you don't do much weekly options, you want to know their behavior. You want to understand how they work, because many times you'll see that even if you're a longer term trader, you can use weekly, and weekly doesn't mean the front week, okay, because we have now weekly options for the front week, the next week, the week after that, and then the monthly. So you have weekly options that could have up to 3 weeks of time. So this is a lot of flexibility in the options market. And you want to understand the dynamics of each of these weeks, and which would be ideal for your situation, all of that. So weekly, I would say weekly max is is important from that aspect. Condor Max is really sophisticated intellectual property, and so if you trade credit spreads, so we're talking about either a bear call or a bull put. Many people do this because it's a time. These are the time decay strategies, and iron condors are nothing but a combination of a bear call and a bull put. So time decay strategies are easily one of the most popular. So if you've done some options trading, that trading these time decay strategies makes a lot of sense. But what is the problem with these strategies? The problem with these strategies is that the risk reward is not favorable, right? And it's not favorable for a reason, because we are going out of the money, we are going far away, and so the probability is on our side. But when probability is on our side, our reward obviously becomes a much smaller percentage of the risk. And so because the risk is higher, you want to be able to have a plan to protect. And regardless of what happens, even if there's a huge move, you want to be able to protect your credit spreads and your iron condor. So from that angle, Condor Max is important. From TraderMAX, what we'll generally do is sometimes a credit spread will get adjusted into an iron condor. So if we had a bear call to start with, we might add a bull put later, and so it becomes an iron condor. So that's where it's helpful to know these three systems. In general, we won't start out by saying, okay, I'm going to put an iron condor. No, that's not a good way of doing it. You want to look at the charts, you want to look at the sentiment, and either you take the bear call or the bull put and see what happens from that point onwards. Because if the trade goes in your favor, then you can actually expand the body of the iron condor even more, because now you can put the other side at a much further away distance. And so that makes your trade even so much more safer. And so that's the kind of approaches that we'll be taking. So legging into it, whether it's a single option or a spread or an iron condor, we'll be legging into things. And so it's a much more sophisticated way of playing the options market. All right. Yep, sure. Yeah, so if you go to that page, it gives you both options. You can get the one with the base system with one of the maxes, or you can get all three. So if you have any questions, you can always send me an email, info@optiontiger.com. Looks like there is, I have talked to all the, I think I've spoken to all the questions at this point. If I've missed out anything, please just type it again. Okay, all right, sounds good, guys. So let me. I think that's all the questions. Have a great evening and a great week. And if you have any questions on the TraderMAX program, just send me an email at info@optiontiger.com. But you'll find all the information that you need on this page right here, and you can make your purchase also over there. All right, folks, have a great evening. Thanks for coming, and apologize for some technical difficulties here on this platform. Thanks. Bye bye.